What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. Last night on stream we did class change, and for those of you that weren't sure what class I was going to be changing to, we went to the Necromancer, a class that I feel is one of the most versatile for many reasons inside of Diablo Immortal. The Necromancer class can do so many things, whether you want to be a beast farmer, drop crazy amounts of damage, or even have some speedy PvP builds. You can do really anything with the Necromancer, but it will require you to have a lot of different essences and put many different builds together, utilizing different gems, different set items, etc. What I'm basically doing right now is starting out my grind towards getting all of these things. And I think there's no better time than now. Now, I haven't played as a Necromancer in probably close to 8 months. So there's actually quite a few essences, some of which I need to complete my builds that I just don't have yet. So when we come on over to the essence transfer, you'll notice that if I go to loyalty bonus, there are quite a few. Probably about 4 or so from each set that we are missing. So it's time to do a little bit of extra farming to grab these, and we almost have a loyalty bonus. Man, it is crazy how many of these loyalty points you need to get yourself a piece of gear. It's actually a bit overwhelming. It takes a long time to get that. So really excited about what I'm going to be putting together with the Necromancer. I needed a build that was really good for farming. I needed a build that was really good for dropping damage in Helliquary and in dungeons. And I want to mess around with it for fun, casually inside of PvP as well. You guys all know that I don't spend a lot of time in PvP. Now, the server Paragon as of right now is 790. I haven't pushed myself up to 800 yet. I know many of you probably are there already. We'll be getting there probably by, well, very, very soon. Which means on Monday, server Paragon is going to be 800, right? This is a great time to do this for many reasons. Now, we know that inside of the game, we have the iron stockpile where you can unlock these chests, these legendary chests that give you a really some of the best pieces of gear that you can get inside of the game. Now, I've saved up a bunch of these because I really have pretty decent gear for the level that I am. But check this out. We have 8 different chests right here. And when you read it, it says choose a legendary chest for 1 gear slot. After opening it, you'll get a random legendary item for that slot. Opening multiple chests for the same slot will increase the quality of the gear with each chest. So the cool thing here is I'm going to wait for Inferno, the next Inferno level, and then I'm going to open up these chests. No reason in me doing any of the opening right now. I don't have a lot of mystery legendary items because I have used them when I switched class to the Crusader and back when I switched class to Monk. So I kind of wore out a lot of my mystery legendary items, but that's okay. We'll use them when we do get to the new Inferno level. And I have a ton of green items that I have just sitting in my stash that we can get and put together to complete this build as well. Now, let's take a look really quickly at Paragon, because I have 54 Paragon points that I could spend. Notice that we only have 2 legendary skills left to unlock. So once I get to 80, I'll have filled out another one of these. And then when I get 80 more, I'll have completed all of my legendary skills. Which means there's probably going to be new Paragon trees coming out at some point in time. I mean, we're looking at like 60, 100 Paragon levels. When we get up to 100 more Paragon levels, it will be time for us to get more of those. So I'm anticipating that they're probably already putting some of those together, and that we'll be seeing some of that in the future as well. Now, another part of what I have to specifically do is I need to start working on my gems a little bit. This Roiling Consequence, I need 1 more copy. I have plenty of gem power to do so, and then I can get this up to a rank 5. As it sits right now, we're looking at a rank 4, 4 out of 5 star. All of my gems are 4 out of 5 star. Now, something that I decide I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go with summons specific gems or attributes for any of my gear, because it's so specific to Necromancer that when I switch class to something else, like probably when I go back to Barbarian, I'm gonna then have to rework all those gems, having wasted everything. I mean, I know we could get the power out of the gems, but it seems like it's just a bit of a waste for summons that, yeah, I could do more in Heliquary and dungeons, which is cool, but for open world farming and stuff, it really honestly doesn't matter. So, for example, I have my Fervent Fang gem, typically not the best for the Necromancer. Pain Clasp is another one to consider, right? Like, increases damage dealt from enemies suffering loss of control. Got to see if that's one that works as well. We could always come back in here and reawaken our Void Spark if we want to. Or my Maw of the Deep, which I actually always quite liked. Or we could throw Chip of Stone Flesh in there, which when you cause an enemy total loss of control, you inflict an explosive curse on them. So there's a lot of gem opportunities and options that we have. I also can start getting some levels on. Notice I have extras here for the Colossus Engine, extras for the Gloom, Bottled Hope, Seeping Bile, and you already know, guys, that we did get our Blood-Soaked Jade, my first ever 5-star rank 6 gem, which is actually quite exciting. Now, I am just touching the iceberg. I literally just started doing Necro last night, and after class changing, probably only played for an hour. I actually reached out to Indez because I know that he's currently playing Necromancer as well, and asked him what build he was using. Basically, he put this build here. He shared this build with me, and let's see how it goes. Let's go right here and just see. I don't have all the essences, keep in mind, needed for this build, but this is basically going to be a fairly big damage build. Notice my Bone Spirit essence is not the right one. We basically have probably 3 or 4 essences across 2 builds that we need to improve, or unlock, I should say, so that we can get more. Let's get to 1 minute and see the kind of damage we're doing here. Now again, this is not at all a summons build. This is one that we can go around, do a lot of damage with inside of dungeons. Now, I personally do really like summons builds, so I will be putting together a high damage summons build as well, for when I don't want something like this that's going to have, you know, an area of effect damage type attack. So we're going to basically be sitting at, what, 120 or so million damage at the end of the time, the allotted time. Boom. Wow, exactly, actually. And as you can see, we're getting most of that from our, here, let me show you my skills that we're using here. Most of it's coming from Corp Lance. Summon projectiles. We have the Vortex of Bones that we're utilizing there as well. So lots of damage coming from that. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to try a bunch of different builds and really get creative with what we can do here with the Necromancer. I know it's a fan favorite, whether it's in the meta or not at the time. People seem to love the Necromancer. I do as well. It's tied for my second favorite class. Everyone knows that the Barbarian is my number 1. The Necromancer and the Crusader are probably tied at number 2. And we'll see when the new class drops how we feel about that. Let me know your favorite builds for Necromancer. If you do have any builds that you love, you can drop them to me over on Twitter, or you can do so over on my Discord. And guys, just so you all know, starting next week, I'm going to be live streaming Thursdays, every single Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So basically at noon every day, grab your lunch, let's sit down, let's stream a little Diablo Immortal. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the new schedule. Hope you guys have a great day.